It's not really quite known, but I am a huge fan of Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips collaborations from their work on Criminal and Fateful and all those Velvet. I enjoy Velvet. I haven't read all of them. I haven't read The Fade Out or Scene of the Crime, but he's got a couple other ones that are just sort of one-offs, so I wanted to sort of review them all together. So in this video, I'll be reviewing his newest one, Reckless. I'll also be reviewing Pulp and Cruel Summer. So let's start with Cruel Summer. Cruel Summer is a sort of continuation of Criminal. It's about the Lawless brothers when they were young. It tells the story of Teague Lawless's father and that sort of fateful summer where everything went wrong. This was a really long book, but very absorbing. It's definitely a must-read for Criminal fans, but I wouldn't recommend it if you've not read Criminal. It's a prequel, but still, it's definitely meant to be read after. This is like its own sort of mini-series. It's not, you know, like, it's not like Criminal Volume like 8 or 9 or whatever. It's like its own thing. It's like a mini-series. So I thought that one was really interesting. Artwork is great as usual. Very deep layered story. Took me a while to get into it, but once you do, it's definitely required reading if you like Criminal. So the next one is Pulp. Pulp is I think they said it's ongoing. Let me check. Because this one was really short and quick. It's basically, oh, it is ongoing. So that's weird. Okay, anyways, the first volume of Pulp is about an aging comic book writer. No, he's not a comic book writer. He's just a regular writer who writes pulpy serial westerns because he used to be sort of like in that. He used to be like a train robber, kind of like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, the movie. And he's really old. He wants to retire, but he doesn't have enough money. However, he finds himself, you know, in a desperate position where he might rob an armored car. However, he gets pulled away by this guy at the last minute and offers him a job to rob, a special job, one last score before, you know, he rides off into the sunset. So Pulp is really interesting because it deals with a different era than what we're used to. You know, like the Criminal series usually takes place in like the 70s, 80s sort of, and Fatale older, but yeah, Pulp is like done like in the edge of like the 30s and 40s, I believe, or yeah. So it's really short, quick, satisfying. Wasn't amazing, but I did like the Western elements sort of brought in, and I'll obviously continue reading because it says it's an ongoing series. And then last but not least, Reckless, the new one by these two. This was a really interesting book. It's basically Ed Brubaker's and Sean Phillips sort of take on the Equalizer. Our main character is Ethan, Reckless, ex-FBI agent. He basically fell out of, he had something bad happen to him during an FBI case. He was undercover and he decided to just go surfing. However, on a chance encounter, he helped some guy out, got some money. So he decided, hey, I don't need to get a real job. I can just sort of do odd jobs for money. You know, if someone, you know, takes the dog in a divorce, he can go track down the dog, get a couple $100. So he's sort of like the Equalizer, basically, and there's a number that people can call for help. He helps the you know, anyone who's got cash, he'll do it for them. However, he gets contacted by this woman here named Rainey. She's from his past, and he starts getting roped up into something completely different. This story starts off with him all bloody, confronting someone that we don't know, and then we jump back to the situation. So it obviously is very pulpy, very violent, fun. I like the aesthetic. I like this new character because there's going to be a new series, I think, but I think the second one's coming out this year. But I really liked how it's sort of its own thing. It's like it's a new series. It's a new character. We don't have to, like, you know, have all this stuff. It doesn't have to tie it in with Criminal if he doesn't want to. It's just like a new fun story he can tell in the vein of the Equalizer, or, you know, any vigilante story where a guy has to go around, you know, cutting down people that deserve it. And so this is a great concept for a series, so I'll definitely be checking out the second one. This one was a lot of fun, a lot of twists, turns, badassery moments, and definitely enjoyed it, and we'll check out future installments. So that's what I feel about Reckless, Pulp, and Cruel Summer.